Hey guys, how's it going and welcome to another video. So today I thought I would talk about how to be productive, my top productivity hacks, how to stop procrastinating and how to get shit done. Today I have 10 tips for you and I'm just gonna briefly explain each one and let's just get straight into it. My first tip would be to have a morning routine. Now I know this sounds like super cliche, but it's cliche because it works. The reason why I find that having a morning routine is super important for being productive throughout your day is because it just like sets the tone for the day. You feel like you've already accomplished something first thing in the morning. So I would recommend doing something that helps you feel relaxed in the morning, that helps you feel energized, and that helps you feel just refreshed and ready to take on the day. Personally, I just don't look at my phone for like the first hour that I'm awake. I make myself a cup of coffee, I'll read a chapter from my book, and I will write in my journal. That is my simple morning routine. You can change yours up, you can make it super like personalized, however you'd like. It's just important that you have a set routine that you do every single morning and it just sets the tone for your day. Now my second tip might sound a bit weird, but it's just to make your damn bed first thing in the morning as well. So no matter what your morning routine is gonna be, make sure that making your bed is part of it. I do this literally like first thing when I wake up in the morning. It takes like literally 10 seconds and it just sets the tone for the rest of the day. That's one win that you've done already in the morning and it just makes your room like look a lot more tidy, put together, and it just puts you in an overall better mood to get shit done. Tip number 3 is to make a to-do list. I cannot stress this enough. Guys, write it down. I don't care if you think you remember everything and you know that you got this and you have all under control. Write it down. Like have a notebook that you use only for to-do lists and just write down everything you need to do during the day. That way you just don't forget it, because sometimes you'll be working on a task and you remember you have to do something else and then you don't write it down and then you forget. And it can be really annoying if you have like sticky notes everywhere with like what you have to do. So I would recommend just getting one notebook where you keep all your to-do lists. I personally use a bullet journal. I try and make it look pretty, but at the same time it doesn't take me that long to make it look pretty, and I just like writing things down on my to-do list. And plus there's something just so satisfying about ticking things off there, you know? It's like I don't want to do it just because I want to do it. I want to do it so I can tick it off that damn list because it is so satisfying. Tip number 4 is to learn how to prioritize your tasks. So cool, you've got your to-do list, you know exactly what you need to do, but how many times have you made a to-do list and like you've ticked off so many things except for the most important things you have to do that day? Chances are you wrote down way too many things in your to-do list. You wrote down like the tiniest tasks that might seem super easy or like mundane, like do the dishes or wipe the countertop or fold socks or something like that. Like sure, those are part of your to-do list, but they're not priorities. And you know, you might just get stuck in the trap of mindlessly ticking things off your to-do list without actually tackling the bigger tasks and the more important tasks. So I'd recommend picking 3 tasks every day that are your priorities, okay? Those are the ones that you just don't want to do and they're annoying, but they're important and you gotta do them. So put like a star next to them on your to-do list and then I want you to do them first. That's right, don't start with the easy stuff. I want you guys to start with the hard stuff first, get it done and over with, and that way you don't have to think about it later. Now, very closely linked to the previous tip, tip number 5 is to break it down. So, you know, these 3 really important tasks you might have to do first thing. They can be super daunting and super scary because like they're really big tasks. I'm just looking over there because there's a huge wasp outside my window. I hate wasps. Yeah, so if it's like a really big task, it can seem super scary, super daunting. So just break it down. Instead of having like write 4,000 word essay on your to-do list, start off with write essay plan on the first day. And the next day you'll have write detailed essay plan. And then the day after that you'll be like, okay, write essay introduction. And then, you know, write like an extra 500 words for your essay. So, you know, baby steps. Just break it down into smaller, more tangible, more achievable goals, and that way over time they're going to be the building blocks to you having completely finished your bigger task. Now my next tip is called the 2-minute rule, and what I mean by that is, let's say you really don't want to do it today. Like today you're just not in the mood, you CBA, you just don't want to do it. Okay, Tell yourself, set a timer that's like just for 2 minutes, and tell yourself you're gonna work on your task for only 2 minutes. It's nothing. So you're sitting there and you're like, okay, 2 minutes, let's go. You start typing at your computer or whatever, and then you're in the zone. And then you look at your timer and it's been like 10 minutes and you're fine. So you just keep going. The trick is to just kind of lie to yourself. Tell yourself you're only gonna do just a tiny bit, and then you'll surprise yourself by how much more you can actually do and actually accomplish. So that's a 2-minute rule. Tip number 7 is especially useful if you are studying for very long periods of time, if you have a lot of revision to do, and it's called the 25 5-minute rule. So what I mean by this is you're gonna be working for 25 minutes and then essentially you're gonna be taking 5-minute breaks. Now there's like a really good logic behind this rule. Basically, let's say you're going into your study session and you're like, okay, I'm gonna study for 4 hours straight and I'm gonna get this like all out of the way and done. Cool, you go in there and let's say you do manage to actually go the full 4 hours without taking any breaks. How productive were those 4 hours? Let's say the first 30 minutes you were super productive, focused, you got that shit done. And then the next 30 minutes you were still productive but not as much. And then the 30 minutes after that you were just slower, you'd put your pen down, stare at the ceiling a little bit, and then, as time goes by, your focus just decreases. And studies have proven this. If you stay focused for too long, or try and stay focused for too long, the level of focus just decreases tremendously as time goes by. However, if you break it down with very short breaks in between, it re-energizes you like that. It's like a battery that charges super quickly. So if you go 25 minutes, like super duper focused, take 5 minutes off to just stand up, check your phone, do a couple squats, I don't know, just take 5 minutes where you're not looking at your work, and then boom, again, 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off. And you'll see, if you do this cycle 4 times, which amounts to 2 hours, you can get way more done in 4 cycles of the 25 5-minute rule than 4 hours non-stop of studying, just because you won't be as focused during those 4 hours as during those shorter 25-minute bursts of effort. So yeah, that is the 25 5-minute rule. I used this so much in high school because I used to study like crazy back in high school. I was mental and it worked wonders for me. Now my next tip is pretty cliche as well, but it works, and it is time management. And I don't just mean kind of map it out in your head. I mean make it tangible, make it concrete. Have a calendar, have a plan, have a schedule. Google Calendar is my personal favorite. I like to color code it and just do it advanced. So at the start of the week, let's say it's Sunday night, I'll go on Google Calendar and just schedule everything in. All my clients, when I'm planning on training, when I'm planning on eating, I schedule in my meals, guys. I schedule in everything. Like when I'm gonna film, when I'm gonna edit, when I'm literally gonna chill. I have some bits of my Google Calendar is wake up, coffee, chill. Or food and chill. Or call mom or something. Schedule everything in, that way you're sure to not miss out on any of the events or meetings you have planned up for that week, and that way you make sure that you're not wasting any time, because after all, time is very, very precious. Time is money. And now my 9th tip is very closely linked to the previous one, and it's to have a schedule that's regular. So have set days where you do things week to week. So for example, for me, on Mondays I'll film, Tuesdays I'll edit, Wednesdays I'll upload, something like that. So have a regular schedule that you can stick to week. That way you don't have to think twice. That way it becomes kind of a routine, a habit, becomes automatic, and you just don't have to think twice and you just get it done. And now my last and possibly craziest tip is to be unproductive. That's right, guys. No one can be productive 100% of the time. It's impossible. We are all human, unless you're taking some crazy drug that makes you a super robot human person. You need downtime. You need time to rest and recover and just do nothing. I mean, I schedule in time to just watch YouTube, to watch Coach Greg Doucette, my favorite YouTuber, on YouTube, because it's good for the soul. It's good for you, and you can unwind and just forget about all the stress that work might have in store, and it's a good way for you to recharge. So I schedule in hour slots here and there that are literally just watch YouTube. over the weekends I do nothing. I just like watch TV shows all day and just chill. I don't even train on weekends anymore. And that way, when the week starts again, I feel energized and I'm good to go. And also, just because we're in lockdown doesn't mean it's a productivity contest, guys. I mean, I know everyone's like always posting like, I did this, this, and this. I do that sometimes. I'm like, oh my god, I got all this stuff done. Like, yay me. Like, I feel so productive, and it's good to celebrate your wins. Like, don't be ashamed to celebrate your wins, but don't feel pressured, especially if you're like on Instagram seeing everyone doing all these different things to like have to be as productive as everyone. You know, take care of your mental health. Slow down a little bit if your life was really hectic before this lockdown. I know mine was. I know that I had a really, really tough time balancing like work and then just life and chilling and, you know, my me time. And I think that this lockdown has truly been a blessing in disguise for me, because now I can focus on being productive during the week and then just rest and recover on the weekends. And I'm so, so grateful for it, and I hope you guys can take advantage of this time as well to do all the things that you've always wanted to do. So yeah, guys, those were my top 10 tips on how to be productive, my top productivity hacks. If you guys have any of your own tips, feel free to share them down below in a comment. If you like this video, I want you guys to go and smash that like button, hit subscribe, hit the bell button, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!